everybody. Welcome back to Brelsford Family Homestead. I'm Darcy. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of holiday baking. I'll show you some of that as well as making some dinner. I can't show you everything because I do a lot of this stuff with my kids and I'm not showing them in videos fully. But I also wanted to show you some of my Christmas decorations. I collect nutcrackers. I'm pretty crazy about nutcrackers. I love them. They're like the only thing I collect. Well, maybe metal mixing bowls too. Well, whatever. So I hope you like this. And I'll give you a little tour of the majority of my nutcrackers. Make snickerdoodles with the new mixer. All right, lower the bowl down with the lever there. Good job. Now put the dry stuff in there. She really likes snickerdoodles, so this is her first time making them. Okay, pull the handle to lift the bowl back up and turn it on, around 2 or so. When I pushed record, I actually didn't. I guess I pushed stop. So this is the recipe from my great aunt, actually my great great aunt. And while that is chilling, we're gonna be peeling some potatoes. For dinner, we're having beef stew. One thing about doing this holiday baking is that like, we still wanna eat dinner. So we gotta figure out how to cook in the kitchen that's consumed with baking. So I am making some, if you want to see, some beef stew for dinner. I've got my Instapot on. This is some grass-fed beef from a local farm. And I'm gonna brown this with some salt, pepper. I'll throw in some thyme here in a minute. And then some of my homemade bone broth. And I'm gonna let that cook I'll let it cook for, I think I'll set it on about 10 is what I usually do, 10 minutes. And then once the pressure releases, I'll add some potatoes and carrots and then cook it for, and mix some onion and cook it for like another 10 minutes. So it's an easy beef stew when you haven't put dinner on the stove and you need to eat dinner. Did I say I was browning that beef? I am. I'm not just throwing it in there and turning it on. I'm browning it first, then putting the lid on saute. So the other thing I've got going on here is, this is Pioneer Woman's cinnamon roll recipe. I have been using this recipe for, I'm not even sure how long. Maybe the whole time I've been married, so 14 years. So this is milk, sugar, oil, and now some yeast that will sit there for a minute. I have tried different oils in this because I don't like to use vegetable oil. I've used coconut oil with good success, but I do know some people who are allergic to coconut. So this is probably, I think this is the first time I've done this. I have been using this oil, and it's an olive oil, but it doesn't taste like olives. It's really light tasting, so it's more affordable than some of the others, and it's not vegetable oil. So that's what we're using in the cinnamon rolls today. So this has to sit for a minute, and then we're going to add flour. My daughter keeps dropping potatoes. So we've got all kinds of things going on in the kitchen. I just thought it would be fun to bring you along. We're gonna make snickerdoodles. We're gonna make cinnamon rolls. I want to make cutout cookies, but I don't know that that's gonna be today. Because the thing is Christmas is still a ways away. So I don't want to bake all of the things that everybody wants to have, because then we'll eat them all and won't have anything by the time Christmas comes around. You know, they're not gonna last that long. So we'll see. But the cinnamon rolls, I have never made them this late before. I usually make them well in advance, and I put them in the freezer and I gift them and take them to various family gatherings. And here we are, like a week from Christmas, less than a week from Christmas, and I'm just now making them. All right, I think we add all 8 cups of flour here. You can look up her recipe. I do have her cookbook, but I just pulled it up on my iPad here. All right, I have the 8 cups of flour here. Let's see if I can make a huge mess. Hey, look, I have a chicken shirt on. I'll have to show it to you. It's a Christmas chicken shirt. I got it Royal King. Stir this in and then let it sit for an hour. We'll get some of the, oh, I guess I was blocking your view mostly there. Look at this cute spatula my sister-in-law gave me. It's all Christmassy. We love these cinnamon rolls. And cinnamon rolls are just one of the main Christmas tradition things to have. When I was a kid, we always had them Christmas morning, but they were not these cinnamon rolls. I know my mom's watching. It's okay, Mom, they were still good. We just had, like most people then, the whatever brand, you know, they're in a can, you pop it and it scares you. It has a little thing of icing. They were good though. And we had our Santa Claus mugs and had hot cocoa or orange juice in the morning before we opened with our cinnamon rolls before we opened our presents. And so we don't eat our cinnamon rolls typically before we do presents. We go all into opening our presents. All right, this is all covered. I'm gonna cover it with a towel and check on my beef. All right, my beef is browned. Hey, you can spy my Christmas tree through there. It's browned. I am just going to sprinkle some, well, a lot, because I like a lot. Maybe not quite that much. I like that a lot. I'm gonna put in a quart of broth. If I need more, once it's time to add potatoes and carrots, I will. I just want this to get nice and tender. Put the lid on here. We're going to push pressure, cook. I'm gonna do 8 minutes. All right, we're going to get back to peeling the carrots and the potatoes and listening to Christmas music, which you can't hear, so we'll bring you back in a minute. Okay, the beef is done in the Instant Pot. So I'm just going to add some more seasonings and the potatoes and carrots. Turn you down here. You can spy Bonnie and Max there. I have found that for my family, we like about twice as many potatoes as we do carrots and things like this. So that's what I have. This isn't really a recipe video anyway, but I will add another quart of bone broth. And then I am going to add some garlic powder that I made from garlic from my garden. I will put a little link to the video here. This is pretty strong stuff. Definitely tread lightly if you're used to store-bought garlic. This is just some like dehydrated chopped onion because I did not put any in there and I want that flavor. So, and my broth is not salted, so I am going to put some more salt in too. I'm just going to pop the lid back on this. Pressure can. We'll do another 8 minutes. We'll keep it easy. So, in here, look. Can you see? Isn't that cute? I mean, it's Christmassy, but I don't have any chicken shirts. Can you believe that? Sorry if the light's a little weird. I don't usually film from this side, but we decided to use some of the vanilla sugar that I made. I will link a video to that here. And so we haven't used it yet, but I thought it would be great. We're going to roll these snickerdoodles, obviously. Well, there's my timer. Oh no! Alexa, stop. So my cinnamon rolls, I got to do something with them in a minute too, but we're going to add 2 tablespoons of this sugar to 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and then roll the snickerdoodles that she's rolling out like this. It's going to be delicious. All right, the cinnamon roll dough is nicely risen, and we're going to add the baking soda, baking powder, salt, and the last cup of flour. But I'm going to need something to mix that up, right? What did I do with my... There it is, because I washed it. Mix this up good. Divide it in half, and then we're going to have to make a space on the island to roll it out and get started. I already washed and dried, put away a bunch of the dishes. Just going to get those cookies in the oven before we roll this out. Slather it with butter and cinnamon and sugar. Now I usually use some of my glass pie pans or even casserole dishes, but I have a lot of like the throwaway aluminum pans because I do gift these to other people, and I don't want them to have to worry about getting a dish back to me. All right, she's doing a great job of rolling. I'm gonna put these in the oven. All right, I got you at the end of the island here. I'm going to flour my surface, and we're going to roll out half of this dough. I will have to grab my butter that I melted. I forgot to grab that. So let me go grab that real quick. Okay, this does call for melted butter, which, I mean, this is basically is, but it's Kerrygold, so it's still just a little bit solid because it melts so much. And I have put some in a couple of these containers that I'll kind of spread out a little bit more before we put the cinnamon rolls in there. Maybe I should just do that right now. So once I cut them, I'm ready to go. Cover them. I'm sure we will have some of these tonight. It's after dinner. All right, I'm gonna try to take out half of this. This makes a lot of cinnamon rolls. So I do highly recommend her recipe, but if you don't have a lot of people to bake for, make sure you have freezer space because it does make a lot. I don't think I've ever counted. Maybe we'll do that. But it makes a lot. But they're really good. And they freeze well, they reheat well too. So, all right, can you see? Maybe to scoot you back just a little bit. I already mixed up my cinnamon sugar. The recipe calls for, you know, spreading a cup of sugar on it and then sprinkling it with cinnamon. But I go ahead and mix it up and I have it in this container. It just makes it easier. But my daughter pointed out, she's like, oh, are you going to use your vanilla sugar? Yeah, I am. So we'll sprinkle a little of that by itself on there. So this dough is really soft. Let's get a rolling pin. I usually cut it with a knife, but I tried some other cinnamon rolls not that long ago. Can't remember why. It wasn't for Christmas or anything. And though I liked them, I wasn't going to change to that recipe from this, but it had me cut them with the dental floss, and I kind of like that. It seemed like it didn't squish it as much, I guess. I like for this to be more squared off, so I might end up cutting some of this so it's like nice and square. Or maybe we'll just do this. It just makes them come out so much easier and nicer, more uniform when it's more square or rectangular, you know what I mean, blocked. Now it is supposed to be long ways. Let's, failed. Did you see that? Maybe I'll cut that out. That was not the right thing to do. Okay, let's try that again. Keeping it real around here. In a minute, my timer will probably go off for the cookies and I'll have to step away for a minute to get those. This side is nice and square. This one isn't, but you know what? We're gonna go for it. Oh, a little thinner. It says it should be very thin, and I usually do. I got too many things going on, and I'm wanting to try to do it faster. Just take the time. Okay. I don't want that hole there. The reason I didn't like melt this to where it was like super liquid is I knew as I touch it and things, it will get even more runny, and it does make quite a mess, but it's so delicious. And yes, that was almost a whole cup of butter on this, and this is only half of the dough. So it's the holidays, right? Merry Christmas. We're not counting calories right now. This is why I only make these once a year. All right, let's put a little bit of this Alexa, stop. We'll check on those cookies after I put a little bit of this, just a little bit of this vanilla sugar. It smells so good. All right, I will come back. I'll show you those cookies and we'll do the rest. Wanted to show you these really quick. They look so good. I'm gonna put the other tray in. Okay, let's get these cinnamon rolls going. I did put the recommended amount of sugar in here for both of the doughs. That sounds funny. It makes me think of my goats. Not that kind of dough, the cinnamon roll dough. But I think I might put a little bit more cinnamon. I may not. It just says a generous sprinkling of cinnamon, but it's like a cup of sugar, which is that. Okay. Let's put a little bit more cinnamon because it's good. All right, and then we got to start rolling. This is not my best rolling out job I've ever done, that's for sure. But that's okay. They will still taste delicious even if they don't look perfect. And not one person I give these to will care. All right, I'm just gonna pinch. I guess you're kind of at the wrong angle, but where the seam meets, I'm just gonna pinch it closed. I may have to go back like right here. That's gonna be a bunch of smaller ones, so I'll probably keep those into one pan. Well, let's see if I like the dental floss strip with this kind. If I don't, then I'll run over and get a knife. I think that works pretty good. Let's see. That was kind of short. Let's make these nice big ones like that. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yum. Let's not be chintzy on those. Where does that word even come from, chintzy? Hope that doesn't mean something to someone else. Oh yeah, those are some good size cinnamon rolls. Woo. Yum. You know what I'm gonna do is that center one. I'm gonna take that out of there and save it. That'll be like the misfit, the land of the misfit toys. Misfit cinnamon rolls. So what things do you bake every single year that's like your tradition? Like it's not really the holidays until you make it. There's a lot of things we like to have. I don't always make all of them anymore, but those are nice. Those are nice and big. I'm going to let them rise for at least 20 minutes. That is going to be beautiful. Get the rest of these cut. I do like this dental floss thing. Maybe it takes longer, but it's not getting smashed. Sometimes that happens when you cut it with a knife. So, and I know I definitely have made these smaller in the past, and I am not going to be sad at all that these are so big. Now I do not use her maple frosting that she has listed with her recipe. I just use a simple glaze. I've tried cream cheese frosting, though it's good. It's just not what we prefer. We're just a simple powdered sugar, vanilla, milk glaze, and plenty of it. That one's not quite filled out enough, but it'll rise and that will look beautiful and it will definitely eat. Oops. Well, that was a little kind of a whopper jawed cut on that one. I'll probably take the end pieces of the next roll and stick it in here too, so it's just a bunch of the kind of skinnier ones. Maybe that's the one we'll eat tonight. All right, let me get the other one rolled out. All right, while those cinnamon rolls are rising, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up dinner. I need to add some thickening. That is looking really good. What I did was put some flour and milk inside this jar and shook it up. Just let that sit there for a bit to thicken up. I do need to taste this. It's gonna be so hot. Just to check for salt and things. It definitely needs more salt. Where's my salt? There it is. Okay. I will let this cook a little bit longer to let that flour do its thing and thicken up. Let's see how those cinnamon rolls are doing. I turned the Instant Pot off because it's all bubbly. Here, I'll show you. So it's gotten thick and everything. This is where the recipe is found. This is one of her older ones. It's also found on Food Network and on the pioneerwoman.com, things like that. So if you Google the Pioneer Woman's cinnamon rolls, you'll find it. And instead of her maple glaze, I keep which glaze I use. I use 1 cup of powdered sugar to a half a teaspoon of vanilla and 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk. Now you'll need to increase that 6 or 7 times for a full thing of cinnamon rolls, or a little less if you like. It just depends, but you can keep mixing it up that way. I've already got some of mine here. It's going to be a bit before my cinnamon rolls are done. They're not quite done rising. I can show them to you, but as soon as they come out of the oven, I will be putting this icing on it. So let's look at them. Aren't those looking great? I mean, this one is the most perfect, right? Oh, they're all going to be so good. I'll keep those covered for just a little bit longer. And I'm gonna just mix this up and have it sitting aside for when they come out. It's just a really simple, delicious glaze. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these cinnamon rolls in the oven. They're already looking so great. Got these cookies here. And we're gonna dish out our dinner, and I think watch the latest episode of Chosen. Highly recommend that series if you haven't watched it. It is so good. These will bake for like 15-18 minutes, but I'll show you when I put the icing on. My timer went off for the cinnamon rolls, but I just wanted to show you the beef stew. It's so good. Okay, I've pulled the cinnamon rolls out of the oven. You might be able to tell I'm a little flushed. It's hot. But I'm just going to take a generous amount of this glaze. Now these are definitely a lot taller and bigger than in my previous years, so the regular lid probably will not fit on these for transport, but that is okay. These are going to be delicious. Thanks for coming along as I made dinner, made some cinnamon rolls, made some cookies, and showed you my nutcrackers. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're having a great Christmas season. We may miss a video here or there as I'm taking time to enjoy time with my family during this season too. And I may try to get some more of like our holiday prep videos up, but it's a little difficult trying to do that with my kids and not show my kids. And anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll pop some more videos up here. Until next time, God bless.